Hey friends, welcome back to Vincent GD's Super Channel G. Look how absolutely incredible these action figures look after we unbox them. You're not going to want to miss this awesome review and unboxing of all these incredible action figures. And we're going to do them one by one in just a moment. They are from Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3 and just so outstanding. You're not going to want to miss this. So guys, every one of these is absolutely amazing, and they're from so long ago. Some of them are almost 20 years old. So before we get started, guys, if you've not already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe below. Hit the notification bell next so you get notified every time we have a new video come out. Talk to us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know where in the world you are watching from. Do you already have some of these? Do you remember when these came out? Or do you just think they're super cool? Give us a big thumbs up if you like Spider-Man. And what do you say we go ahead and get started right now?
What is up, Vincent GG?
Vincent GG, Super Channel G.
Super Channel G.
GG.
Vincent GG from Super Channel G.
Super Channel G.
Vincent GG on Super Channel G.
So tight. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Congratulations on all your success.
Congratulations on everything.
I will see you on the TV on Super Channel G.
God, is this great?
Okay, well, let's take a look to see who we're going to be unboxing and reviewing today. There are so many great action figures here, and this is just so many from these sets. So I'm going to put our camera right here, and let's take a look to see who exactly is going to be open today. And I don't know who you want to start with, but let's take a look to see what the ones are from the first Spider-Man movie. We have Norman Osborn. We have Jonah Jameson. We have Mary Jane Watson, of course. That's cool. And then let's take a look and see these. We have this special edition Venom right here. We have Spider-Man with a black suit. From Spider-Man 2, we have Dr. Octopus. And then from the comics and game, we have Lizard. Here, from the first movie, we have Green Goblin. And then, of course, this is another Spider-Man with a black suit, but this is different than the special edition slightly. We have Sandman, the Battle Attack Sandman. Look at this. We have Spider-Man fighting the Sandman here with a super kick action. Look at that. With Subway Sandman. We also have Spider-Man, of course, from Spider-Man 3, and technically from any of the 3 movies. There's Spider-Man 3 with Super Symbiote Double Punch. And we also have New Goblin. So, which ones do you want to do first? They all look so absolutely incredible. And I'm thinking, what do you say we start with the first movie action figures, the ones from Toy Biz, and then do, Green Goblin, and then move on to the ones from part 2, and so on, move on to 3. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so guys, give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and move these over to the side. And we'll jump right on in that order. What do you say? So, in case you're wondering, we did find these at a local comic book shop. Actually, a couple of different local comic book shops, and they did have other action figures, but they are not cheap. So they've taken a little while to collect. So normally, I already have figures like this that I've collected over the years. These are ones that I didn't get a chance to, and now going back and looking to collect them. So here we have Toy Biz action figures, and these are about to be 20 years old. Look at this. 2001. Unbelievable, because that's when the movie came out. And so they were being developed in 2000, right? And so the fact that it's about to be 2021, these came out in 2001, lets you know something. And then you get to see how much I actually ended up paying for it at the comic book store. And these figures were definitely not this expensive when they first came out, but because now they're collector's items, definitely the price now. So we're gonna take a look at these by getting them open in just a minute. Which one do you want to start with? And then we'll move on to our other action figures. I'm just so excited. There's so many here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 figures we're going to be opening today. All right, so let's get all set up. Okay, so let's see exactly who we have today that we're going to be opening from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man first movie. And let me tell you, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, absolutely wonderful. Holds a special place in our hearts. And so we have Mary Jane, we have Jonah Jameson, and we have Norman Osborn, of course, who's a Green Goblin. Spoiler alert. And yeah, who do you want to open first? They all look absolutely incredible. Look at this gorgeous package right there. So let's see. Let's make it a surprise, okay? And first one we're gonna open. Let's kick this off with Norman Osborn with Talking Goblin Mask. Now it does include 3 replaceable button cell batteries. I'm not gonna hold my breath that after 20 years, the batteries will still work. So this is a Toy Biz action figure. Again, back when Toy Biz was a thing and back before Hasbro took over all of these incredible action figures. But this is official movie merchandise from the very first Spider-Man movie. And look at this beautiful package. I can't say enough about how great it looks. Look at that Green Goblin mask and the reflection of Spider-Man's eyes on his mask. And it just looks so great. This is a solid packaging. And look at this. And of course, as I mentioned before, I did not get this new. Paid a pretty penny just for these 3 figures alone. And they did have more, so if you enjoy this, we will purchase them, and then you see like how much just for this figure alone, which it probably, when it was new, was probably closer to $10 versus that, so that's a big increase. But here's other figures that are in the set. Of course, we're going to be opening this one. I would love to find these, and we will keep an eye out because I'm sure you want to see them. So let's take a look at the back of this box and see what it says here before we get it open. It says, Spider-Man. Only one superhero has lightning speed, rapid reflexes, heightened senses, the acrobatic ability to walk up walls and leap with abandon, and last but not least, a knack for spinning webs. He's strong, he's agile, he's Spider-Man, and he's ready to take on evil in any form. Look at this awesome picture right here. Spider-Man and Green Goblin. So this is Norman Osborn. Look what it says right here. Place mask on chair and press the seat down to activate sound and light. Mask can be removed from the chair and placed on Norman's lap when he sits on the chair. And how to replace batteries, which we're probably definitely going to have to do. So let's get this open and look at that. Again, 2001 Toy Biz. Looks absolutely incredible. Okay, let's get this open, and you know how we do here. We're not going to destroy the package because we want to be able to say this, because if we just have it loose in a box, it will break. So I am going to look for a place that I can insert perhaps a knife. Look at this. I'm going to kind of just put this softly in here and then kind of pull it down this way versus up, and bring this down looking this way. So just kind of wedge it this way. And there we are. It's tearing a little in an ugly way, not like how I wanted it to. So let's bring it out. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's see if that's enough to remove our Norman Osborn. If we're gonna have to do more, because I definitely don't want to just destroy the entire box. There we go. Oop! Started tearing up too hard. Okay. Oof. Well, I saw where I got it. Let's see if I can just slide this on out now. There we go. And for the most part, was able to keep it intact. Alright. Sorry that took so long. Let's bring it out here, because I'm sure you want to see exactly how I was able to remove it without destroying the package. And man, the chair's a lot heavier than I thought, because I can feel it heavy over here. Look at that. Okay. So this Green Goblin mask. Oh, look at that. let's zoom in a whole lot closer right here. And does this light up? Probably not, but wouldn't that be cool? And we'll see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, and then obviously there's gonna be what's supposed to talk, but oh, well, we're not gonna be able to see it light up if the battery doesn't work. So let's take a look at the back here. Let's push out our Norman Osborn. Slide him out. Let's take out our chair without destroying our packaging here. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a look at him. And this is kind of interesting because now I'm definitely going to be careful with this because the plastic can wear over the years. Look at that. There's some great paint detail on his legs, but it does not look like there's amazing, crazy articulation. So let's see. The head definitely tilts and turns. It doesn't push back too far or too far forward, but it does move. Look at that. So, and it definitely tilts more that way than it does this way. And I'm sure it's because of the hair. Look at that. Kind of comes down further this way. So we do have like a wash look right here to give different textures on the hair. The face looks pretty good. There's a little bit of paint, like overspray or whatever this is right here onto the neck. And the shoulder does turn, but that's all it does. It does not have a full joint. It just turns. And same thing with this one. So his elbow does bend to not quite a 90-degree angle. And the wrist does turn. Let's take a look at this watch. Looks like it is it's like 11 o'clock 11:30. Okay, and then here we do bend right here slightly. At the elbow, doesn't go all the way out, doesn't come all the way in either. Look at that, almost 90-degree angle. So that's about all of the articulation we have there. It does not turn at the waist. It's got pretty good detail on it. Interesting how this is kind of like glossy, but this one's more of a matte finish. And so that looks cool. He comes to almost a 90-degree angle with the legs. And the knees bend almost 90-degree here. Look at that. This one comes in a little bit more than this one because it's a little bit restricted by this. You see that? I'll go ahead and zoom on in. And then the ankles don't move at all. So that's what that looks like. Let's take a look at this chair. This chair's got beautiful detail on there, and it's textured. Look at that. I love how it's got this white washed on there, and these beautiful legs right here on the chair. And there's where the speaker is. So let's find out what happens if we do this, and it's probably nothing, but let's see. There's that, and then oh, it had something. Wow! 20 years later, it had just enough juice to say it. Let's see if it was once or it's going to say it more than once.
Can Spider-Man come out to play? The world will be yours and mine. Can Spider-Man come out to play? The world will be yours and mine. Can Spider-Man
Okay, just making sure that there was only 3. But that is so cool! The batteries still work. So let's set this up here. That looks great. And let's take a look at this back of this package again, because it has him like this. And we can put the mask in his lap. So I'm assuming that stick comes out. Mask can be removed. And there's no instructions here outside of this, so it also doesn't say, or I don't see where it says how many phrases it says, but anyway, let's come back over here, and that looks really cool actually. So let's pull that out. And does this slide up or down or out? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Let's pull it straight out. No, I definitely don't want to break it, as I mentioned. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because here it pictures it on his lap, but without the stick coming out. See? So maybe it was intended to be that way, and it wasn't after all. because in order for this to be on his lap. So, is it not making a sound because this isn't in there? Perhaps. So, all right. And then just to make sure, did the lights come on? Is there any light? Just making sure. Okay, cool. So I'm really digging this figure. It looks great. Definitely looks like William Dafoe. And we're gonna have him relaxing right here. I'm like, what's up with that leg? Maybe we can have him relaxing a bit. There we go. So who knows? Just kind of leaning like that. But yeah, it looks great. You can have that right there. Look at that. What are your thoughts on that? Just kind of relaxing, and that way we don't have to see that it has that that's part sticking out in the back. Look at this. Get this in focus, and I'm really loving this. Look at that. Very cool. And Spider-Man come out to play. Look how cool that looks. Absolutely. Okay. What do you say we move on? We set him aside, and then we move on. That looks so great. Okay, awesome. Let's put Norman over here. And, you know, there were rumors that the new Norman Osborn would be played by Matthew McConaughey. And you know what? I would absolutely love that. Because Interstellar is absolutely one of my favorite movies. So that looks great. Okay, let's bring this up high again. And let's move on to our next action figure. What do you say? Let's put this right here for now. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, next, let's do J. Jonah Jameson. And definitely captures the essence of J.K. Simmons, doesn't it? Look at that. It's snarling and everything. And then, what a great action figure to have, especially as Spider-Man 3. The new Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland is set to come out, you know, within the next year or two. And of course, the new J. Jonah Jameson is supposed to be the same one, except with an online, almost like the newspaper company went online. So this looks great, and we have some action motion right here. We have an animated desk, and with desk pounding action, official movie merchandise. And again, this box is just gorgeous looking. Look at that. And there's such great detail on this desk and these little accessories. Look at that chair. Let's take a look at the back, and let's see who we have on here. This looks like very similar other figures that we have compared to what we had here, except they switched this chair and with the one that has this in our hands. So these 5. And let's take a look. And we just read this, so we don't need to read that again. But again, only one superhero has lightning speed. And let's see what it says over here. J. Jonah Jameson. It does not have a write-up back here for him, though, unfortunately, which would be absolutely outstanding. But it does have the instructions here. So place figure in chair and seat in front of desk. And is this in front of desk or behind the desk, right? So push down on lever on back for arm pounding action. Objects on desk will rattle. And then they have little strings here. So that looks cool. And again, you see how much we paid for it here. And this action figure is about to be 20 years old. So we will be careful as we open it. In order to open it without destroying the package, I'll need to open it from here to about right here. And I'm gonna try better this time than I did on the other one, where it ended up kind of tearing a little bit differently than how I wanted to. So I'm gonna try and pull this off right here so I can get it started. Look at that. And I want to kind of pull this out and down toward us. Oof, this definitely did not tear the way I wanted it to. Still wasn't able to do it. There we go. There we go. Look at that. perfect. Even though it tore a little bit differently than I would have liked it to. If I can pull it from underneath, that'll be fine too. And I think I've realized what the problem was. It folds over. So that's the problem. So in order to get that one, I'm going to need to do this. Because it folds over, so I actually need to cut it. There we go. Okay. Better job than I did last time. So far. So far only. There we go. Okay. And this one's a lot taller too, so maybe I will have to pull it all the way to the end. Ah! That's exactly what I didn't want to do. Alright, let's see if I can get it out. Cool. And that was behind him. Pull that out. Great. That looks awesome. And let's take a look. And look at that cool webbing in the back. Alright, so we have our desk here. And we have our chair here. And it looks like we have desk legs hidden under here. So, how is this attached? It's taped or glued? It's taped right here. So let's take our Jonah Jameson out. Three J's. Let's see if I can sneak these out without breaking it or tearing it. Absolutely. Look at that. Very cool. Okay, set this aside. And we're going to build this little desk. Ooh. Made a crazy sound. Okay. Awesome. Let's bring this in closer. And we are going to build this bad boy. Let me make sure these are exactly the same. Make sure there's no left, no right, and no markings on it. So it definitely appears like they are the same. So we'll pop that in right there. Let's see if they both fit exactly the same. Definitely feels like it. Ooh. Well, good luck taking it out now that I've already clicked it in so hard. It may not. Okay. Well, look at that. This looks even cooler up close. And then compared to my fingernail, you see how small these are. Look at his cup here. His mug, coffee mug. He's got his container to hold his pens. And look at all this. We got some files right here on his little inbox right here. An old-fashioned landline phone. Here's this chair. Look at this. It's like soft plastic or padded or something. Look at that. Very cool. And it even swivels. Look at this. The wheels don't move. Man, I almost expected the wheels to move because of how great a detail looks. And look at this face. Now the paint's not perfect, but... And then of course this line right here where they close the neck together, but... Man, did they do a good job capturing the essence of both of these characters. It looks just like J.K. Simmons. And so, what a great job they did. This was 20 years ago. Look at the great job on the suit. And then his vest is like a soft plastic, so that's cool. Look at that. So, look at that. Okay, so let's see. The arms, they're not really meant to be, at least this one's not really meant to be posed too much, I would think. Oh, check that out. Look at the back of the vest. Okay, so the elbows do bend, but it's not really meant to be posed too much. It's just here and here. Look at his finger, definitely pointing. And this fist can bend right here at the elbow. Goes out straight to, definitely all the way straight on that one. This one almost does, but doesn't quite. And this one does turn at the waist. Wow, okay. Show a little extra love. The head does tilt a little bit. Turns great. And moves back and forth. Okay, awesome. So the legs do have them sit almost 90-degree angle. The knees definitely bend down 90-degree angle. And the feet kind of turned out a little odd, but let's see what it says down here. If I can get it in focus. Look at that. Actually says 2002. Okay, very cool. And then let's see how well he sits right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this, I guess, here. Oh wow, cool! Look at it, actually lines up with the elbow and bending that. And this one out here. Look at this. So that actually looks great. We'll line him up here. Put his arm here. Let's bring this down. Let's show you what this would look like from. Let's bring that up here a little bit. Guess they rattle a little bit. Look at this. Let's bring this in a tighter shot. Look at this. See how that looks. Parker, get in here. Okay. And let's see what I can do here. I guess that's the extent of it, just kind of rattling a little bit. So I was like, they made it seem like they pop off, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. Look at that. There we go. And let me come on in close. Oh, sorry guys. Slipped right out of my hand. But how great does this look? Looks absolutely incredible. Such great detail. Look at that. Focus here. Focus there. Take a picture or two. Look at that. And this looks absolutely incredible. I definitely love this figure. It looks outstanding, and I love the accessories that came there on both of these figures. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and move him back. Look at that. Bring our Norman Osborne forward just a smidge. Look at that. How great do these two look? The faces definitely have such a wonderful resemblance, especially for being 20 years old. Almost. Okay, great. Let's move on. Okay, so from these three, and then of course we have so many more, but from these three, and from this, oh, this is a series 2. I didn't even catch that. So that's what happened. These two are 2 out of the 5 from series 1, and this is one of from the series 2. All right. Didn't catch that at first. So let's look at this package. Again, looks gorgeous. Look at that. Love the Spider-Man logo here. She's gonna be up there on that balcony, and it has with wall mountable breakaway balcony. Wow, that's cool. And come to the back and look at all this. You can suction cup it. Look at that. And again, only one superhero has lightning speed, rapid reflexes, heightened senses, the acrobatic ability to walk up walls and leap with abandon, and last but not least, a knack for spinning webs. He's strong, he's agile, he's Spider-Man, and he's ready to take on evil in any form. So Mary Jane. So attach balcony to wall by either picture screws or by suction cups. Look at that. Place Mary Jane on balcony and press button, and balcony collapses, leaving Mary Jane in need of rescue by Spider-Man. We don't know how you're gonna have it, but it's probably gonna zip and just jump off right there. So, man, it would be cool to have these other Spider-Man action figures. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm not 100% sure, but I would think these 4 would complete the series 2. But there may be more. They don't just show on here, so it depends on the wave. So you see how much we actually had to pay for this bad boy. This one says 2002 versus the other one said 2001. Okay, so let's get it open. And again, because of the way it has like a blister pack on top, it's going to be a little harder to get out. I don't want to just tear it, and then it folds over here, which is what we just learned something to cut it. But we're going to open it from here all the way around to perhaps somewhere in between here and here, because it's really tall, so it'll be harder to get it out. And then it's got this huge, massive set piece here. So thank you for bearing with me. I'm going to try and pull this up like so. There we are. And try to wedge this in right here. There we go. There we go. This takes a moment, but I'll thank myself later when it's not a destroyed box. So, just throwing that out there. Careful if you do it like this, because definitely don't want you to be cut with a knife, nor the plastic, because that can happen too. There we go. I did a much better job around this corner, so it didn't just tear it off. Okay, let's see if we can just get this out. There we go. Awesome. So let's set all this aside, and let's get our Mary Jane. Look at this. Wow! Look how incredible this looks. And then here's where our suction cups are. Look at this. And so I'm sure we can just pop those in there and then push those up. And then they would stay stuck right there. So that's cool. I'm gonna have the two. And this is a little heavier than you might think it is. So I don't know if it would end up popping off really easily. I'm gonna put this back because we're not gonna put it up on the wall. So let's pop out Mary Jane Watson right here, and let's go ahead and okay. So let's definitely zoom in close, and that absolutely looks like Kirsten Dunst. Look, she even has the chopsticks in her hair. This is bent. It's supposed to be a little straight, but they are soft plastic. Did a pretty good job with her face sculpt. Look at that. Now the paint's a little off, but otherwise definitely resembles her. Let's see. The head can slightly tilt, but it definitely turns well. Oh, because it turns in the neck, so it wasn't really tilting. It was just moving at the base of the neck. Sorry about that. And look at her outfit. Her shoulders only turn. They don't move out, so it's much like the Norman Osborn one. And it turns in the middle of the bicep. That's a little odd, instead of at the elbow. So there's not much you can pose here. That's a little odd and awkward, but still. It turns at the waist, so at least it does that. And then let's see. The legs, I guess just go back and forth. The knees bend to about a 90-degree angle, but the ankles do not move. So the legs do, looks like it more spins than anything. I was trying to see what kind of joint we have, but it looks like it just spins more than anything. And then what corner? It does stand well. Look at that. So let's come over here. Look at the shoes. Look at the patterns on the dress. So that's cool. It's raised up here. Look at that. Kind of embossed. And the wrinkles is part of the sculpt. So that looks cool. Because it's definitely textured. So let's look at the sculpt on our balcony right here. Interesting. Look at that. That looks really cool, actually. And they did a great job with this balcony sculpt right here. I'll say breakaway balcony looks outstanding. And so I guess I press that and it just releases right there. So like, I guess that's the only thing I press. And you want to press it up here because this doesn't do much, but you press it here and it opens. Okay, so, and it doesn't stand on its own. That's the only bummer. So if she were chilling right here, be like, ooh, Spider-Man, this and that. Oh! Well, she kind of rocked. There we go. There we go. I was like, okay, that's more what we're looking for. Oh, Spider-Man, where are you? Well, you still get the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean this back for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lean this back for now. And then put her right here. Good enough. Whoa! Okay, so it worked well in my head. And I guess not practically though. Cool. Okay, so that's it for these three so far. I definitely want to collect this whole set, and it was not cheap. So let me just say that much. But you let me know which one was your favorite out of these three, and we will move on to our next action figures from the Spider-Man original trilogy. Sam Raimi. Doesn't that look outstanding? So again, there's Mary Jane Watson. Here is J. Jonah Jameson. Here's Norman Osborn. And they look absolutely incredible. So, what do you say we move on? Alright friends, now that we've done these three incredible Toy Biz action figures, what do you say we do these two to kind of go hand in hand? Now, this one's the obvious choice because it's from the first Spider-Man movie, but came out with a set of these from Spider-Man 3. And of course, that's Green Goblin right there, so this is Green Goblin right here. And since there's not a direct Spider-Man 1 movie action figure that we have here, because this is from Spider-Man 3, but it's essentially the same suit. So why don't we do these two to complement these three? But I will say this, these are not going to be in scale to these. They'll be slightly smaller because these are essentially a precursor and around the same time as the original Marvel Legends. So they're going to be about that size, more of like the 6-inch figure size, and these will be slightly smaller. But you'll see that as we get them open. So what do you say? Absolutely. So let's jump ahead to which one do you want to do first. Let's do the Spider-Man. What do you say? Okay, great. So, jumping into Spider-Man. Now again, as I mentioned before, this is from the Spider-Man 3 set. This is how much we did pay for it because it was no longer new. This was from a comic book store, and this is how much it was apparently worth. And this one came out 2006, 2007 when the third movie had come out. And so obviously this is, you know, 13, 14, 15 years old, going on that time frame, really coming up real soon. But look how great this action figure looks. And this is more of a basic figure, so I will say that. So it doesn't have, it has quite a bit of articulation, I will say, for a basic figure, but it's not a full-blown Marvel Legend. So Spider-Man was super articulated with wall-hanging web. And this is Hasbro. Look at this great-looking sticker right here and great-looking packaging. And let's see what the back says. This one definitely has a long write-up here to get you all hyped up about this figure. And look, here's other action figures in the set. And I know we have this one that we're going to open just a little bit. I think we still need to collect these two. But again, they were not cheap since I'm buying them well after they came out. So let's see what it says. Back here it says, and first of all, this packaging is gorgeous. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so it says, Spider-Man, super articulated with wall-hanging web. Spider-Man has faced some tough battles in his life as a superhero, but never anything like this. 3 villains out for revenge have come to New York, intent on taking down the friendly neighborhood wall crawler. Zipping between buildings on super strong web lines, Spider-Man is in the fight of his life, and he'll need every last bit of his super strength and web-slinging skill to make it out alive. And that looks great. Look at this. Detailed, highly posable figure. I will say this is not the most flattering shot. And figure clings to the web, and the web attaches to some walls and windows with that suction cup. So, all right, let's get it open. And then I did open this just recently, so I kind of did the same thing, opened it up down here, pulled it here, and then this had tape, so I was able to open this here. So I'm just gonna slide this on out. This web looks attached back here, and I don't want to destroy the package. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that I don't want these action figures to break by just being loose in a box somewhere. I want to keep them in their original package because it's the best way to store them. Okay, that looks really cool. I'll set this aside, and look at this web. This web looks pretty crazy. Look at that. And look at these suction cups. You can peel it off there. It's got 4 of them. And let's get our hero out. So this is kind of a thick plastic actually. I was just gonna push him in, but it's not as wimpy of a plastic as we've seen with newer action figures and as thin. So let's bring this further down. And look how this looks. The paint looks a little bit more rushed than we would have imagined, but still looks good overall. Okay, the head tilts and turns, and there's not a great level of articulation on this head. It's just probably just a ball joint back there. Let's see, I'm gonna apply pressure into the joint so I don't just crack anything off, especially because the action figure is not new. It's been around for a while. So we definitely can turn the arms pretty well. They do not go straight down, they still angle out. And look at this, the joint for the shoulder is actually really smooth and holds well, and turns the upper part of the bicep. Look at that. But it does hit right here, look at this, the tricep, if you have it too close to the body. Look at that, it pushes off on it. We do have double joints at the elbows, so that's great, but it still only comes into maybe not even a 45-degree angle. Now the tough part is it doesn't turn at the wrist. I would like it to be able to turn like this, and so unfortunately it just goes back and forth, which makes it difficult to pose. Look at that, because in order to have the wrist down this way, that would be awkward to have your arm like that, but still cool. Double joints right here at the elbow, and the arm does stay pretty well. Now that's a little lower than we would have liked this to be bending, but all right, looks okay. Definitely going for that web slinging action, and turns right there. So that looks cool. Bring it down there, go web go. This would have been nice if it bent here at the wrist, not in this extra. It looks a little awkward there, kind of. Okay, so this red and this silver look good. He does not turn at the waist. He instead turns here, like right below the rib cage, but it kind of pivots when it turns. Look at that. Look, down, and so it does turn like this. And then the legs, they have this style of joint right here. Look at this. So they do go all the way out, so you can do the splits. But as far as them coming forward, it does not come all the way forward straight. It would have to, because it would hit right here, they have to go out a little bit, because if they're straight, they only come that far in. Now if we take a closer look right here, they do not move at the high part of the thigh, and because they're not directly Marvel Legends style, they are more a basic figure. Although they have all these joints, it doesn't have quite that articulation. So we do have a double joint at the knee, which is awesome, and it does turn there. So wow, look at that, that's great. And then we do have a single joint on the ankle, but it only goes back and forth. Unfortunately, it doesn't turn. So I'm definitely digging the texture on the blue, and then overall the texture here for the Spider-Man logo. Look how great that looks. That looks absolutely outstanding. So you can see what this figure looks like. Okay, great. And so this is intended for him to be able to grab on to here, which obviously we can do. Look at this. So we can definitely do that, and I'm pretty sure That's what it's showing here on the picture, or down here. But not a whole lot of practical uses because it would look like this. Or I guess we could turn it around and we could have it hang like this. There we go. I mean, that could be something. Look at that. So, cool. But I'm going to go ahead and put this up for now. Put this back where it came from. And make sure I put it well. There we go. Set that aside. And then I'm going to compare him in size to this Mary Jane that we have over here. That way you can see how it's not necessarily in scale, really. And this one's definitely, obviously, thin and small. And there we go. Let's have him stand up next to her. And we'll have her stand up next to him. That way you can see the scale of these two. So, these basic figures are significantly shorter. There you go. But still cool, and obviously they're from different sets, so just something to keep in mind. Alright, awesome. Whoop. Go ahead and set her up here. And let's see what we can do as far as getting a decent pose here. Let me put this up and then get him in a pose. Okay, so something very simple, but there we are. Now I could pose him upside down and all sorts of things, but I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And we can have that kind of dynamically. We can turn him right there. Look at that. We could have standing too. I'm like, let's have him like kind of like in a crazy dynamic pose. Look at that. Very cool. Look at that. So I'm digging that. And that's our Spiderman. Right there. Perfect. Like, you know what? He could be really upsetting Jameson by doing this right here on his desk. Look at that. And then he's just mad in the background. Look at that. Now I wonder if I turn his head, if it will look even sillier. Let's get this going right here. There we go. Look at that. Very cool. Okay, so what do you say we move on to our Green Goblin? Okay, awesome. Okay, and as I just mentioned, we're gonna move on to our Green Goblin from the first movie. But again, this one came out with a set of the Spider-Man 3 action figures. Something that we have taken a look at before, and I did open not too long ago. So we're gonna take a look at that. And it has bomb dropping battle glider, and look, we have 2 pumpkin bombs right there. And he again is not in scale to our Norman Osborn because these are from different sets. And this is a basic figure, but still versus a Marvel Legend Green Goblin. But nonetheless looks amazing. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these are stickers. So let's take a look at the back and see what it says here about Green Goblin. And man, these look amazing. We do have this one. We'll be opening that in just a bit. So let's see what it says here about Green Goblin. Green Goblin, bomb-dropping battle glider. Norman Osborn lives for his work, driven by desperate circumstances to test an experimental super soldier formula on himself. He finds himself suddenly imbued with superhuman strength and resistance to damage, but at a terrible price. His mind is turned completely to evil by the corrupting chemical infusion, and he becomes the nasty Green Goblin. Obsessed with the destruction of Spider-Man, he'll stop at nothing to bring the wall crawler down. Look at that. Super detailed figure. Press pumpkin bombs to drop because you can put them right here. And collect all these figures. So, man, that's a great shot right there. I wish we could have our Spider-Man do that. So let's get him on out. And then, yeah, you can see how much we definitely paid, which is probably double what this action figure cost when he was new. And then we'll open it by moving the tape that was right here, and then opening this right here. You can store him again later. We definitely don't want these figures breaking. Okay, and then let me see if I can get this sticker out right here. See? I'll show you this one right here. Looks really cool. It says includes Spider-Man peel-off sticker. So that just goes right back over here. Okay, very cool. Okay. So here is our Green Goblin. And let's pop him on out of here. Take that out. Take that out. And let's take the glider out. Ooh, I don't want to break it, so let's pull from the sides first then. There we are. Awesome. Okay, let's get these pumpkin bombs. And let's get closer so we can see this Norman Osborn right here, this Green Goblin. So look at this great head sculpt and mask. And this one definitely moves a lot. It's still on a ball joint, look at that. But definitely has more freedom to move. So I'm going to pull that so we can compare that in just a moment. But what a great head sculpt and what a great body sculpt. Look at that. The arms don't come any closer to the body, unfortunately. Look at this. They are kind of restricted by several things, including this, including that. So the arms are probably going to be kind of out a little bit. They look like they only turn and don't bend at the elbow, so that's unfortunate. Look at that. While it is a beautiful sculpt, we don't have great articulation. We turn at the waist, but only turn. And then we have joints kind of like Spider-Man, where we can do the splits, but we won't be able to bring it forward a whole lot without it hitting right there. You see that? And so in order to bring in a 90-degree angle, he does have to have his legs spread open. He does have double joints at the knees and turns there, so that gives us great articulation, and we have great ankle articulation. Look at that. Point and flex and pivot around. So that's awesome. Hasbro. Look at that. Actually says 2006. And so well, it's about to be 2021, so that would be 15 years, depending on what month it came out. So, wow, look at this. Just great detail on the sculpt. And let's take a look at this glider. The glider has a couple of joints, like that. And has a couple of pegs so that we can have on his feet. This is actually really soft plastic look, and it's like ridiculously soft. Look at that. This does not feel like strong and super high quality. It feels like soft plastic that could probably break kind of easy. And then here are these pumpkin bombs. So we can literally just put these right here and then just push them through. They're just big enough to fit them and just small enough to hold them in there. Look at that. And we just push them down, and so that's how we drop them. Okay, let's get our Green Goblin action figure posed on there. Oh, let me compare this head right here. So that would probably be a lot more in scale to the figures we were looking at a little while ago. This mask is great, but this one is amazing. Just 2 levels. So put this back over here. Norman. And let's go ahead and start by putting these right here, feet right here on the pegs. Let's just twist. Very cool. And here again, we'll twist. Very nice. And we can probably have him crouch a little bit. Look at that. Turn his feet out a little bit. And that's actually a pretty good pose already. Let's see if we can have him squat a little bit more, because that would actually work pretty well. Look at that. And I'm actually loving this pose in this action figure. Look at that. It's great. You know what? Having him on a here's my action figure stand would be really cool. I'm like, did I lose it already? Okay, I'll find it soon enough. But look how great this looks. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? I'm really digging it. Look at this beautiful body sculpt. So great. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on, but this is a gorgeous Green Goblin. And is in scale to that Spider-Man, but definitely not to these older Toy Biz figures. Look at that. But I can definitely appreciate that. Look at that. That looks great. I'm turning little angles so I can take some pictures. Look at that. So that looks outstanding. Okay, awesome. What do you say we move on, guys? Yes! Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to our next action figure, and it's going to be our Spider-Man 2 action figure, which is still from this Spider-Man 3 action figure line, and this is Dr. Octopus. It's Dr. Otto Octavius, and looks absolutely incredible. Look at that. Again, with this includes Spider-Man peel-off sticker. We're going to leave in here for now because we're not going to. Looks like some glue on the inside right there. But looks awesome. Grabbing tentacle attack. Grabbing tentacle attack. Looks absolutely amazing. And of course, here's these 3 figures that are also in this set. This one is from, of course, the one we just did. And then these 2 from like the video game and comic books. So those look awesome. And look how great this looks. So let's go ahead and read the back. It says Dr. Octopus. Man, that looks awesome. Dr. Octopus, grabbing tentacle attack. Greedy, crazed, and hungry for revenge, Dr. Octopus turns his evil super genius and adamantium tentacles on the heroic Spider-Man. He's sick of being embarrassed by the web-slinger's foolish intrusions on his plans. This time, nothing will stop him from crushing the web crawler like the bug he is. Awesome. And you know what? I did not immediately remember the tentacles being adamantium. Anyway, squeeze legs together for tentacle attack, super detailed figure, and collect all the Spider-Man 3 action figures. Let's get this bad boy open. And again, we have tape down here. It's from 2006, 2007, Hasbro. And yeah, let's get this open right here. So, Dr. Octopus, well, Spider-Man 2 is definitely an absolutely incredible movie. Let me just say that. And you know what? Alfred Molina was a good Dr. Octopus. And it's, well, let me not give any spoilers, but definitely awesome redemption. Let's do this right here. I'm gonna cut the little piece of tape. And let's pull this bad boy on out. Let's see if I can just slide him on out, just like that. And we can store them afterwards. Perfect. Man, look how cool that looks. Awesome. Alright. Just see if we can just push them out. Let's not bust any of these claws. Wow, good. They have wire in them. I was hoping so. Let's see. Didn't it say you pinch the legs together? Weren't these supposed to close or something? Interesting. Or is it just those? I'm like, There we go. What about this one? We open it. So I guess that's the extent of it, kind of like squeeze legs together for tentacle attack. Super detailed figure. And yes, let me set this aside and just see how incredible this figure actually is. Over there. And let's zoom on in. And take a look at, get even closer. This head sculpt, and it definitely looks like Alfred Molina. Definitely resembles that. A little bit that maybe we can get off of that chin right there. Definitely sand that off later. And let's see, the head tilts a little bit, turns pretty well, and probably on a very limited ball joint there. But we have a soft plastic coat right here, trench coat. It definitely looks cool. Now it looks like the legs only turn right here. It's probably how it is like on Mary Jane Watts. Oh, this one I can't because I have to be able to push that one. So this one does, but this one doesn't. Bends at the knee, it's almost a 90-degree angle, and the ankles don't turn at all. You can see right there. The arms. See, oh, I was like, what's going on here? But it's because there was a rubber band on the clear one that I couldn't even see. There we go, because I wasn't looking for it. Okay, the arms go around. It looks like there's no other articulation. Oh, I was wrong. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised, but there's no elbow action. So this one moves a little bit, moves all the way around. That's good. The wrists do not turn. That'd be nice if they did. And let's see. So the trench coat is attached. We cannot remove that. So these are cool. Looks like I can wire move this bad boy. Wow, that just popped right off, and that can't be a good sign. I hope I didn't break it. So give me a second, guys. All I did was barely tap it, and boom, it's flying off. I'm afraid I may have cracked it, because again, this is an old action figure. It looks like it may be able to fit on there, but it'll probably break off really easily. You saw that. So it is staying stuck on there, but looks like I may have cracked a piece off, so I'm definitely not going to be touching those too much. But there's definitely a wire in there, and I would just be pushing this definitely lighter than what I did a moment ago. Look at that. They open up nicely. Look at that. And I definitely do not want to break this action figure. And these, let's see, it looks like there's a little piece of string in there that pulls this down, or pulls it from here. Look at that. See that? Let's see if we can. So it's not like super amazing, but it does move. So if I can get him to stand up, and again, looks really cool. Get his knees going, and then maybe we can use these tentacles to help him stand just a bit. There we go. So that's enough for me. Now again, I don't want to break this claw right here. So let me just bring this over here and just bend it so that it can be appear like it's ready to attack. So that looks awesome. What do you think, guys? Pretty outstanding. Now these look like I might not be able to pose them at all. They just kind of stay there, but maybe over time we can at least have them like, we can heat it up a little bit and have them like that. So how awesome is that? Look at that. That looks awesome. Absolutely, look how great this looks. Okay, let's move on to our next action figure, because that looked absolutely amazing. I'm loving it. Okay, set this up. Let's move on to our next figure. What do you want to do? Man, that looks great already. Look at that. Let's do... Oh, man. Let's see. Let's do this one. Our Spider-Man with Super Symbiote Double Punch. And it looks like it's starting to crawl over him right here. I'm liking that. This great packaging. Definitely looks reminiscent to that one. But he's got two fists on this one. And his suit's all messed up. Look at that. It's torn. So let's take a look at that. This beautiful package. And super detailed figure. Swivel torso for 1-2 punch. Symbiote ooze figure. So that looks cool. Look at that Venom alien right there. And yep, this looks outstanding. So we still need to get these two, but we do have this one. So we'll be doing that in just a bit. And let's take a look. It's beautiful artwork, beautiful package. Let's see what it says about Spider-Man. It says Spider-Man Super Symbiote Double Punch. Spider-Man has faced some tough battles in his life as a superhero, but never anything like this. 3 villains out for revenge have come to New York, intent on taking down the friendly neighborhood wall crawler. Zipping between buildings on super strong web lines, Spider-Man is in the fight of his life, and he'll need every last bit of his super strength and web slinging skill to make it out alive. Now, I may have just read that just a few moments ago, but definitely awesome write-up. So let's go ahead and get him out. Let's bring this down here. I have to cut this tape first. Be careful, I'm going to cut myself. What you don't know is this knife's actually pretty dull. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this way. We have a piece of tape again right here. Okay. Let me slowly bust this open. And there we are. We'll bring this Spider-Man on out. And you know what? Just so you can see, I know we missed it, but the Dr. Octopus was that amount. And then this Spider-Man is, yeah, that amount. So, life of a collector. Let's go ahead and bring this out. Oh, I thought this was going to be soft plastic. It's actually hard plastic. Now, while we can still move this, this is hard plastic. And I was like, I wonder if we can see any, like, Venom face or mouth or anything, but this looks like a claw hand right here, right? So that looks cool. I love how it's kind of like jumping out at him. And we can stand it like that, right? Let's get our Spider-Man on out. I'm pretty confident this is almost the same mold. So we'll take a look at that. Set this aside. Put that aside over here. Really see what's going on here. Okay, so the Spider-Man. Wow, look. Double punch action. So, is there anything we do that actually activates it, or it just does that? It just says swivel torso for 1-2 punch. There's that. So I guess not. And then that would lead us to believe it's actually back out like that. Interesting. And we just 1-2 punch it. We're like 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So look, and the head stays in the same spot. That's interesting. And it's got like a little piece right here that's integrated into the spider logo, so I guess we can move it back and forth. So it just becomes easy to push. Look. Well, that's cool. Interesting, the head feels like it is attached to the waist or lower so that it can stay put. So anyway, I'm gonna zoom in just a bit. I'm gonna take a look overall. His suit's all slashed up. We do have double joints at the elbow, so that's cool. The wrists do not turn, they do not move, they do not pivot, they do not swivel, but the double joints do move. So I guess technically I could bring the arms all the way out and it would still... That's not as cool, not as fun. So there we go. Look at this. This one up. There we are. Let me bring this in a bit. So pretty awesome. Just want to straighten this out. There we go. And let's see, the legs. Oh, it's like this leg looks like it's being pushed in this way. So we have the legs similar to the ones we had, where it's got this kind of joint. The legs do not come all the way 90-degree angle forward because they are restricted right here by this little V shape right here. We do have double joints at the knees, which is a great thing, and it even turns right here. We have no joint on the ankle, and this joint is actually a little messed up. You'll notice should be a double joint there, but if you notice, it should be like this, and it's actually settled into being like that from being in the package for so long. So his leg, instead of being nice and straight, is actually curved, and we'll need to heat it up and kind of get it so that it can mold back in place. But otherwise, looks really cool. Look at that. And it definitely looks like it's got great damage rocking. So let me see if I can get just a decent pose, since I can't move the ankles. And you can't really pose this one as much anyway. So I have it like overtaking him. Look at that. So that's cool. But otherwise, pretty cool action figure. And again, you can just, let's bend his elbows again. And it's getting stuck on the leg. There we go. So that's awesome. And cool that the head stays in place. Look. So if I hold this in place and just move this, that looks cool because it's like, it's almost like it's battery powered and moving. So that looks awesome. Look at that. And yep. So I'm really liking this figure actually. The only downside is that this needs to be, we need to fix that. So we'll get it going. We'll have this thing like, he's unsuspecting and it's about to crawl over him. Look at that. So we'll do that. We'll set him aside. And I'm really liking that actually. So what do you say? Awesome. Let's put him over here. Let's have that Venom symbiote kind of like trying to take over him. Look at that. And maybe we'll do this. And we'll have this like coming up over him. That looks kind of cool. Absolutely. Look at that. Very cool. Okay. So I say we go ahead and move on. So next, we're going to go ahead and do the next one that will be natural progression after that, where he has the black suit Spider-Man because the Venom symbiote has already taken over his whole body. Look at that. It says superposable web. And Spider-Man super articulated with wall hanging web. Again, like the one we did earlier, but this one is black, or at least a really dark gray versus that clear one we did, whitish clear. This is one we've definitely taken a look at before, so it's not going to take us long to get it open, but super cool. And then we did see this one at the store but I've not seen this one, and of course we're going to do this in a moment. So that looks cool. The web attaches to some walls and windows. Figure clings to web. Detailed, highly posable action figure. It looks like it may be the same body sculpt as that, but with a different paint job is what I'm anticipating. Oh, maybe not 100% because that Venom symbol is different. Look how the legs go straight down versus that one. So, yep. And then this one has a different write-up. Still has a sticker here and looks great. So let's see what it says here. It says, Spider-Man, super articulated with wall-hanging web, faced with a raging new goblin and the nearly invulnerable Sandman. Spider-Man is more than happy for the extra power granted him by this new costume. He doesn't know where it came from, and he doesn't care, as long as it helps him win. Little does he know, however, that what he thinks of as some kind of enhanced costume is action alien that is slowly taking over his mind. Wow, there's a lot of minds being taken over from him to him, and him with those, without the inhibitor chip, and then of course Spider-Man over here. So a lot of people's minds being taken over by evil. So this web's actually different than the one we just did a little while ago. And it's different because I see we have 3 suction cups instead of 4, and it's longer this way. So that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in here. I'm not looking to use any suction cups right now, but you get to see how cool it is. And it is slightly stretchy. And then, yeah, looks like we'd be able to have him hanging from there if we so wanted. Look at that. So that's cool. But we're gonna go ahead and pass on that for now and put this back over here. And I'm like, why didn't it work? Perfect. Okay. So put this back in here and set that aside. Okay, let's take a look at this Venom suit Spider-Man. And this one's actually gray. Look at this. Cool Spider-Man symbol right there. This Venom symbol. And let's bring his arm down. And we're gonna have very similar articulation. And we'll probably have almost the exact body mold. So the head turns slightly, moves, and pivots slightly, and doesn't have great articulation there. Shoulders move pretty well out, but as far as down, they don't go straight down, they still remain out. And then again, the tricep does hit against the body, so it can't go straight down and kind of pushes out a little bit. This wrist bends way further down here than we would have liked, but it still does. And then right here, this is to hold the web. Turns at the high part of the, just above the bicep, and the arms go all the way around, so it's good. He does not turn at the waist, he turns right here below the rib cage, but this actually does look a little different than that Spider-Man that we just did right there, because look, right here the rib cage does look definitely different. Okay, and so let's see, the legs do come in 90-degree angle. Look at that. So there's it is definitely a different body mold, and this one can sit. It still does this because it has a similar joint. This one, the double knee joint is actually larger, and look at that, and really smooth. Can still turn there. Still only has the single joint right here for that ankle that points and flexes. And then let's see the back. Man, that's a great looking spider emblem right there. So I don't know what's really going on with the face, because this paint is really coming off. Look at that. Or looking really kind of faded there. But let's see what we can do as far as getting a better pose. Now it doesn't really ab crunch a whole lot, but You can definitely take advantage of the double joints at the elbows. Look at that. So that's great. I just wish we could turn the wrist, because that would definitely mean a lot. So let me see. Let me get him for a decent pose. Now he is harder to pose than you would think. And so, I mean, that can be something just very simple like that. Look at that. Not too, you know, simple, but not completely understated. And that's even better. Look at that. So I'm actually really digging that. Look at that. Very cool. So where can we put this? Because I'm really digging that. Symbiote suit Spider-Man. Look at that. So what are your thoughts? You know, hopefully you're commenting below what you think of these action figures. Where do we want to set them up? Guess we can set them up right over here, right? Just have him right there, or does he blend in too much? Maybe. So we can have him right there then. How's that? That looks really cool. I'm so excited. Oops. Very cool. Taking a quick picture. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Still have quite a few figures left. So, who do you want to do next? I know who we'll do. We'll do Battle Attack Sandman. And look at these great accessories here. And you know what? Did I say how much that Spider-Man was? Just in case you're keeping track. Wow, how do we get such a good deal on this one? Look at that. This was only 15. Okay, and this Sandman, oof, 20. That's not too terrible. But if you're keeping score, it adds up real quick. So this is a really cool looking Sandman right here from the Spider-Man 3. It looks really cool. Interchangeable attack hands, so we can change those out. And yeah, let's read what it says right here. Okay, and then let me straighten this out a bit. And this definitely looks like Thomas Hayden Church. Look at that. Definitely resembles him. That looks awesome. And man, I think we did see these two at the store. Well, they don't have them anymore now because they sold them little by little. Again, they keep showing this one, which we have, but I didn't get this one, and I didn't get that one yet. So we can still keep looking for them. I can guarantee we'll probably find them. So again, comment below which ones we don't end up doing, which ones you still want to do, and which ones are your favorites so far. So, Battle Attack Sandman, interchangeable attack hands. Driven to a life of crime by the desire to save his sick daughter, Flint Marco never intended to hurt anyone, and he sure didn't intend to get turned into a walking pile of sand. Now that he's become the Sandman, nothing will come in between him and being with his wife and daughter, not even Spider-Man. Awesome. Super detailed, interchangeable, bend and pose weapon arms. Let's get him open. This looks so great. Okay. And just like the other ones, let's go ahead and cut this little piece right here. And I'm sure you already got the point, but if you just leave these action figures loose and pile them up, they will eventually break, and then you'll end up with knee joints like we had with that Spider-Man right there. So that's definitely not what you want. Had that happen a couple times, and yeah, I'm like, never again. Oof. I can't cut this part off. Okay. There we go. That shows you just how sharp that knife is. Not very. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay. Alright, let's get our Thomas Hayden Church out here. And you know what? He did a great job as Sandman, I think. So it's great casting there. Let's get these interchangeable parts. And you know what? There's softer rubber than you, or plastic than I would have thought. This right here. Probably squirt some water out with that. And push him out. Take a look at that. And it says interchangeable attack hands, and it did say bend and pose weapon arms. So let's take a look at that. Set that aside. And I guess there's a wire in the arms. Is as far as bend and pose, I'm assuming. Because the arms don't go out, they just go around. Look at that. Okay, cool. So let's bring him in closer. Let's take a look at this face. Man, that looks pretty awesome. Except for there's like a crack right there. Looks pretty good. I love how he's definitely in that transition phase between sand and human. Look at that. He's definitely sanding out. Look at that. So the legs, looks like they only turn back and forth and then pivot around, I guess. Look at that. So let me see how exactly we're supposed to stand him up here, because I don't know if we're supposed to have it like that. That looks a little odd. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. According to this, we would have the legs like this. Looks like the left one is forward, right? And the right one is back. So if we're supposed to have it back like this, is what I'm guessing. Because I was like, man. Okay. And then, how interchangeable are these hands? Very cool. And the ball one right here, look. So that's cool. And we can probably just, well, they're not really staying, but as far as like bending and everything it said, like they're not really staying. And this, I guess we can just kind of push right there. So that'll look cool either way. And then this will pull off. Let's see. Yeah, that looks awesome. Super awesome. What do you guys think? Look at that. Too bad we can't turn them at the waist. But look at the detail on this, on his sweater, his shirt that he took off when he had said goodbye to his daughter, right? Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. Do we want this or do we want the hand? Look at that. That looks awesome. Let's take this off, and you know, technically we could put this on either one of the sides. Look at that. Whatever we think. It's just the one hand. That one has to stay on that side, but I can push this in. So, which hands do we want? Push this back in here, and I think that looks cool. Look at that. We can probably just bend this just enough. And I think that looks amazing. So, very cool. Yes. And if I can get this one to bend just a little bit more. Yes. Look at that. I think that looks absolutely amazing. I'll leave this somewhere around by him. And you know what? Maybe if I can get that looks outstanding. Absolutely. And if I can get something for the Green Goblin to be flying around. Give me a second. That's awesome. Okay, so maybe I can use this, even though that'll put the Green Goblin kind of high. Look. Maybe we can have that like so. Or turn it this way. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to smack that out of there. There we go. And because we just need the space, maybe we can get him going like that. How's that? We're probably gonna need another one so we can fit everybody on here. But let's turn Green Goblin to look that way. But that looks kind of crazy. Look at that. I'll come closer. We'll adjust everybody just a bit, but so far it looks really cool. Even Spider-Man who's trapped back there. So, alright. I think Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin on that glider that's probably the only thing we just need to adjust a bit. Look how cool this looks. Alright, let's move on guys. What do you say? And I think, you know what, to go hand in hand with that Sandman, let's do this Spider-Man super kick action that has where he's fighting Sandman right here. Let's bring this up so we can get a closer look. And this one was 25. Alright, so look, with Subway Sandman. Look how great that looks. It's like punching, and looks like some of the posing's gonna be they already made it up for us, because look, the leg looks like it only turns there, but that one can go back and forth. But great packaging, cool sticker, and then wow, now we're gonna have these two and collect all the Spider-Man 3 action figures. Look how cool this looks. So detailed, highly posable figure, and then boom, does this like roundhouse type kick. Pull back and release leg for battle attack. Kick Sandman through the subway wall. That looks wild, doesn't it? Let's see what it says back here. Well, it looks like it might say the same thing, but Spider-Man, faced with a raging new goblin and the nearly invulnerable Sandman, Spider-Man is more than happy for the extra power granted him by this new costume. He doesn't know where it came from, and he doesn't care, as long as it helps him win. Little does he know, however, that what he thinks of as some kind of enhanced costume is actually an alien that is slowly taking over his mind. Awesome. Let's get it open. And you know the drill. Ooh, this one's got the tape a little different. So I guess it just looks like it's really low. So let's see if we can get this going this way. There we are. Okay, very nice. I've been doing it backwards. Okay. Let's get this piece of tape right here. Oop. Not really where I intended to cut it, but oh well. Let's bring this up right here. Very cool. Over here. Alright. Man, where's this? This is behind this. This looks like a couple pieces. And then look, there's a rubber band here. Let's get our scissors. Very cool. Let's get this part of Sandman out. Let's get this Spider-Man out. Look at this. Very cool. Let's set this aside. And even after this, we still have 4 figures to go. Set this aside. Very nice. And let's zoom on in closer. Look at this Spider-Man. So, that looks cool. Again, his black suit is more or less gray. And let's see. Which leg are we kicking with here? I'm like, let's see if we can. I guess that's it, right? I'm like, is that the leg we really kick with? I guess so. We bend this knee. And we I guess that's how. Bring this down. And we end up kicking like that. Boom. Interesting. Okay. So, unless we... No, because it doesn't turn the other way. Well, interesting. Just like... Boom. So let's see. Yep. That's cool. Alright, and let's take a look at his suit. He's definitely got sand all over him. This arm does not go out on the at the shoulder, doesn't go out here at the shoulder either, so these are only that turn joint, and the arms are just one big piece. He's got sand all over him. His head can turn, but again, that's limited. I like the texture of the suit. This is one big piece that only goes back and forth like that. Cool paint application. We got sand all over him. And this knee does have double joints, so that's interesting. And does articulate well at the knee only because it's a fixed ankle like this. And then what it turns here is actually spring loaded. So let's bend this again. And we go. Boom! So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the Sandman. Look, he's coming out to the subway. And that looks kind of creepy. Cool and creepy at the same time. Look at that. And then this looks like this would attach at the base. But there's money here. Sand covered money. Guess that would go there. Guess this would just sit right here. Look at this. Right? And then this would just sit right here. Look at this. So it just links together like a puzzle. And then it chills right there. Oop. It just fell right off. Let's see. So that's cool. We could put this right here. We have our Spider-Man. Try this again. Boom! That's what we'll do. Look at that. So we go, boom! That looks really cool, actually. I think I finally got it to where it needs to be. Look at that. Okay, let's try this again. Now I'm excited. Put this right here. Let's put this right here. And we can go from here to, what I meant was from here to, boom, and it kept it from coming all the way around. But still, that looks awesome still. And yeah, buddy, I'm digging this Spider-Man action figure. We can definitely put this Sandman subway part over here and have it like right here ish, right? And then have this. There we go. Look at that. Very cool. Now it's getting a little crowdy over there. Then let's see if we can have room for all of our... What did I tell you? 14 figs? We'll find a way. So that's it for now on that. And let's move on to our next action figure. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Definitely digging that. Okay. Let's move on. Oop. Okay, so let's go ahead and do New Goblin. And we're going to do Venom next, but you know what? We're going to do Venom because in a moment, because it's in these two special edition packages. So, we'll go ahead and do New Goblin. And New Goblin was not super cheap. Again, but this is getting closer and closer to having a complete set. Spider-Man 3 action figures, and of course we know we're including the very first 2001-2002 action figures, but from Toy Biz. But as far as these, getting them all open, and so Disc Attack Sky Stick. That looks really awesome. It probably shoots out these little discs, and man, several accessories. So this one stands out because of that. So that's awesome. Includes peel-off Spider-Man sticker, Spider-Man peel-off sticker, and looks great. So don't have any of these yet. And then includes Goblin Boomerang, Pumpkin Bomb, and Sword. Load disc and press flame to launch figure rides Sky Stick. I'm sorry. Load disc and press flame to launch figure rides Sky Stick. Super detailed figure, and look at that. So let's see what it says about New Goblin. So, New Goblin. Granted incredible strength, speed, and damage resistance by his father's goblin serum, Harry Osborne becomes the cackling criminal known to the world as New Goblin. Screaming through the air aboard his new Sky Stick, leaving a trail of black exhaust and crazed laughter behind him, he stalks Spider-Man through the Manhattan skies with enough pumpkin bombs to level a city block and blades to spare at his disposal. There's no way the web slinger can escape. Oh, and I'm sure you've seen the movies, so you know how that goes. And let's get this bad boy open. We're starting to run out of room here, and we still have this figure and 3 other ones to fit up here. So we'll see how that goes. And come on, what's going on here? There. Perfect. Okay. Where's this little piece of tape right here? Very cool. And then get it right here. Perfect. Alright, nice. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. And that's really cool, actually. So, let's take our goblin out. Very cool. This is definitely that thick plastic we were talking about. Push them out. Look at this sword. It's a little curved because it's been sitting in this plastic for so long. But, very cool. And it sits well in his hand. Okay, let's get the Sky Stick out. Let's get these discs out that it launches. Let's get this pumpkin, which looks the same as our Green Goblin one there. And then look at this. Very cool. Okay, let's set this aside. And Goblin Boomerang. Interesting. Okay, so I guess this can definitely hold. It looks like it doesn't hold well, actually, even though it shows it on there. This, none of it's really holding super well. And I'm sure we can just load these. Look at this. right in here. And it click. So, and it shoots out pretty well actually. Didn't really like fire out straight, but it. Oh, I guess I don't know if that one's broken. I don't know if I just did it wrong. There we go. Let's see this one. Very cool. Okay, so they do come out with a good amount of force if you just push it hard enough. Look at that. Wow. Eat my own words. Perfect. Okay. Set those aside and look at the sky stick. It looks super cool. This hoverboard type action. This is supposed to be the flame coming out of the back. Look at that. So that looks cool. And then these right here, it has like these turbines. We can definitely have him standing on there. Have him hold this pumpkin bomb. He's got his Goblin Boomerang and his sword right here. So let's take a look. Let me remove this and then we'll take a look. So we zoom in on this face. It's probably got a really big ball joint on the neck, so the head only pivots a little bit. It does turn completely, but it doesn't really move back or forward very much. The shoulder joint does allow the shoulders to come up to about out a 90-degree angle, but doesn't allow them to come down straight. It does have double joints at the elbow. Look at this. But again, we do not have a joint at the wrist. So, which is unfortunate, but look how cool this looks. It's like the exact opposite of Batman. It's like forward instead of back. So that's cool. We have double, so it's like a 45-degree angle. And his hand's really open here. So I'm like, the picture shows this like this, but it's not really looking like it's gonna hold that very well, and it doesn't turn. So we'll take a look at that in a second. This hand definitely looks like it could hold this in any way if you wanted to. Look at that. So that's cool. Could probably even fit it in better by going like this. Look at that. So that we can definitely do. The sword. And let's look at his mold, because it looks awesome. He actually does have an ab crunch. First one out of all of them that has a true ab crunch and turns at the waist. So let's see, we have this little like holster right here, where's double belt, and then it has a peg right here. So I guess this goes right there. Wow, I like how that looks really tactical back here. That looks awesome. The legs open up like on the other action figures, and he does come to sit at a with his legs straight out. We got double joints at the knees, and does turn there too. And we have ankle joints that go point and flex only, but it looks super cool. Look at that. And I think if we go ahead and put these right here on these pegs already, we can see what sort of pose we're going to have him in. Since he's going to be flying on this, we obviously want him crouching to some degree, but we don't want his knees knocking in. We want them out. There we go. Cool. So let's put this right here. I wish the sword was straight, so we're going to have to heat that up and then hold it in something that'll pinch it straight. And we can put this right in here. And there you go, Harry. Very cool. So let's see if we can't have him flying with another action figure stand. Let me see what I can find. Give me a second. Okay, perfect. I did find this one, and maybe we want him looking more like is right here in the picture. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. Well, I will say this. I just noticed how there's a big color difference here. Look at that. And we definitely don't have any green on the boots. So Either way, let's get him standing up more. Let's arch this back. Let's see, have this out, have this down, and then see about making him stand just a little bit more. Very cool. Look at that. But this shows that this would be held here when I'm not really seeing where would be a good place to hold it because of the thumb. Oh well. Cool. We'll still have this here. We'll close this right here. And we'll have that there. So, how can I make this even better? Let's see what we can do about this. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can maybe even raise this a little higher. Okay, cool. This is a little bit taller. I just kind of lifted that and had it there. So let's see. We would have to move somebody around. And oof, not really looking forward to that, but I shall knock everything down. Let's bring Jonah Jameson forward. I guess we can bring our Norman Osborne forward. We can bring this back. I guess don't really have a choice. We can bring our Norman Osborne back over here. He's yelling, "Avenge me!" Oop. We can put our Spiderman back on here. And yep, we can continue moving everybody little by little. So we'll do that. Cool. All right, it's definitely getting a little cluttered, but maybe we can make it look really cool by the time we're done. Okay, let's move on. All right, friends, so we have 3 left. And so that new Goblin, we know, this is one that you've definitely been waiting for, I promise you have. Because this one is, Venom. And it doesn't say, oh, it does say it at the very top. With Capture Web. But limited edition. If I'm not mistaken, I think these two, because we have 3 left, but these 2 may have been Target exclusives, I believe. In any event, not 100% sure. Look how great this looks to be. Movie Venom, accurate as far as Spider-Man 3 from the original Sam Raimi trilogy. So that looks absolutely amazing. And look how great this packaging looks. And not too long ago we did open this, but look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look absolutely awesome? Check out these amazing items. So it's these 2. Exclusive super metal finish. Yeah, you're about to see that. So let's read what the back says, because this packaging is just awesome, unreal, and definitely pops off the shelf. So it says, Venom. Eddie Brock can't remember the moment at which he went crazy. He was a normal man once, maybe with a surplus of anger, but never a killer. The symbiote changed him, made him somehow more, stronger, faster, smarter, more angry. It gave him claws and the will to use them. It took his rage at the man who destroyed them both, Spider-Man, and made it potent, powerful, murderous. As Venom, he's got all the fighting skills and high-flying talents of Spider-Man. As Venom, he's got one goal, the destruction and death of Spider-Man. Look at that detailed, highly posable figure with exclusive super metal finish. Yep, and that's the difference between the normal Venom that you may have seen, that had the same boxes as these. This one has a super metal finish. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy open. And let's be careful taking this out. And you did see how much it was. So naturally you see that these added up real quick. So look at that. Oop. That was my elbow hitting our camera. It's coming close, and this plastic's a little faded. You can't tell here, but it's a little yellow. Pull this out. This is definitely soft and stretchy feeling. Let's bust this Venom out. And of course, this is definitely one of my favorite figures so far. What Venom is one of my favorite characters of all time. So, I'll show you what this looks like compared to the Marvel Legend in a minute, because I'm sure you want to see that. But let's see, okay? So the arms definitely have good shoulders, but because of the body and the way the body's shaped, the arms can't come straight down or any further in than that. And look at the biceps or the triceps, making sure we have it in the right place. We have double joints at the elbows, so we can bring the arms into not quite a 45-degree angle, but still. This one, we can turn the wrists, so that's a huge plus. Look at that. This tongue is not posable, and you don't want to crack it off. And the head doesn't have tons of articulation, but it does tilt. So look at this. I'm really digging this Venom symbol right here. Look how great that looks. So he doesn't turn at the waist, but he does turn right here at the rib cage. Look at that. And these legs, it's kind of interesting because I don't know what to tell you about these legs, because they can't really turn as well as you'd think they would. You actually have to like turn it sideways almost, look, in order to bring it up-ish. So this is a tricky one to pose. Now the legs do go out. They don't really go forward like you'd think they would. So it's a little odd. But we do have good double joints at the knees. And it does turn. We do not have joints at the ankles. So that's something to keep in mind. And he's not super tall at all. So I am definitely digging this metal-ish finish. Look at this. And look how this blue kind of like shines through. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Depending on the angle. So it's subtle, but it is there. See? So that's really cool. And the fact that that he can turn his wrists, that's a huge plus. Look at this. We are Venom. Look at that. That looks so great. I didn't even notice how it comes all the way up here. Too bad that's not more pronounced. That would be awesome. And I will say this. I'm sure you'd love to see this, but we have the Marvel Legends Venom from the Venom movie that came out years and years afterwards. But look at this. Wow, and there is a massive difference. But this is also a Marvel Legends, and it also is huge for a Marvel Legends. So let me get that. I'm sure you want to see a comparison. Okay, well, I'm gonna show you this one first. This is from the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure series. Pull them out just so you can see the size difference of this Hasbro Marvel Legends versus this Hasbro Spider-Man 3 basic figure. There is definitely a huge size difference. Look at this. So just a simple little quick pose. Just to show you size. And look at this. There's like no comparison. Oh. See, look at that. And it becomes a little more apparent, embarrassing when you bring out this bad boy right here. So take a step back for a second. And then if I brought out Monster Venom, oof, that one just would be a joke on how big that one is. So this is from the Venom movie. And this one has the coolest, like, this is just one of the coolest Venoms ever. Marvel Legends has ever made. Hasbro, Toy Biz, anybody. Look at that size. It's just massive. And if we put this guy by him, it's almost a little sad how small he is compared to that. But he's still a cool figure. Look at that. You know what? And let me see if I can find that Monster Venom. It's just, you just have to compare them, right? Here it is. And it's not even necessarily about height. But look, it's just massive. So there are some Venoms right there. Some Venom comparison. Well, so cool that this is a movie figure that's in scale with these other ones. But look at that. Just massive. This one by this one. And of course, obviously these are Marvel Legends, so they're bigger. But, and they're all looking this way except that one. Okay. And they're all cool and unique in their own way. Here's another Venom right here. Look at that. So, anyway, we'll go ahead and remove those, but I'm sure you like Venom just as much as I do. So, look up. I'll give you a quick little glimpse as we remove them from here. This one is my favorite. Look at that. And just so cool. And of course our Monster Venom. Alright. So let's go ahead and put him. We don't even really need this. It's you know, nah. We'll set him right over here. Look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? We'll probably have to rearrange some guys, but man, that looks incredible already. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's move on. Great, so we have 2 figures left. Let's see if we can remember who the last 2 are. See if we can remember who the last 1 is. But second to last is the special edition Spider-Man. Of course, the black suit looks awesome with wall hanging web, and this is definitely again like the web we saw earlier on the other review, and he's definitely got that metal finish also. He looks kind of purplish. Let's bring this up so we can see. Already showed you how much this one was because we're collecting it after the fact, limited edition, and it looks awesome. And I think this was a Target exclusive, not 100% sure, but I believe it was. It's for the Spider-Man 3 movie, and look, exclusive super metal finish. Check out these amazing items. It says these, and it's just this other one. But look how awesome. Detailed, highly posable figure with exclusive super metal finish. So it may look a little purplish when we take it out, just like that one looked a little blue. And so Spider-Man 3, let's see what it says different here. I don't know, but it looks super cool. So, Spider-Man. Spider-Man has doubted himself before, sure. But he's also never faced odds like this. 1 superpowered psycho he can handle. But 3, before now, he's always had his secret identity to protect him. Keep his real life somehow safe and apart from his adventures as Spider-Man. It tears him apart knowing how Harry Osborn feels knowing his secret. But the fact that Harry has taken to chasing him with machetes isn't much help either. Venom seems to know his secrets too, and takes joy in exploiting them. Sandman is so tangled up in Peter's past that it sometimes seems like he's been living with the guy for years. Got a lot going on there, and let's bust this guy on out. Why is his tongue not pink or red there? Interesting. So, we opened this one also not too long ago. Let's go ahead and get him out. And this package is also starting to, plastic is starting to turn kind of yellow. So we have this again. But since you've already seen that and we're not going to use it, let's just take our figure out. There we are. We'll put this away. And let's take a look. awesome. So let's zoom on in here. And he's going to be very similar to this Spider-Man that we already done. But you see, he's got that exclusive super metal finish, which is kind of like just purplish. And it looks cool. And it's more than likely the exact same mold, but a little more care going into it. Look at that. So we've already seen this body style a few times. And like we have a little bit coming off here. We'll have to like sand that down. There you go. Okay. But apply pressure to the joints as you push it in, because it looks like again, we don't want to crack it off. But man, that's pretty far back for the shoulder to go. This little piece that's coming off is actually kind of sharp. Here we have double joints at the elbows, and wow, that comes in quite a bit. You got this wrist that goes back and forth to hang them on the web. I wish the wrist turned instead of just going like this, down and back. It does move at the high part of the bicep, like that. And we don't turn at the waist, we turn right here at the rib cage. And it doesn't really ab crunch, it only does really that. And then we don't have a whole lot of head articulation, but it does turn. And then it has these joints right here that allow him to do like the Jean-Claude Van Damme splits. But this particular action figure allows him to sit and come almost 90-degree angle forward. Double joints at the knees. And nothing to move at the ankles, but look at the sculpt. This is actually raised right here. It's actually kind of cool. So the ankles move back and forth and point and flex, but they do not pivot side to side is what I meant. So this looks really cool. And you know what? Maybe we can have a similar pose, but not the same. Look at that. And too bad we can't turn this wrist, because that's like almost a necessity. But either way, still looks cool. And maybe we can have him getting ready to shoot some web out. We can have the arm back. That's not a great pose because it just doesn't turn well. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, so took a little bit of asking for cooperation from this action figure, but ended up getting it in the end, and that actually is pretty cool, especially with the limited articulation we do have. Definitely looks cool. Look at that. Way to go, black suit Spider-Man. So I'm really digging that. And look at that finish. It's got like this purple little shimmer in there. Look at that. It looks like metallic. Where the Venom was blue, this one is purple. Look at that really cool emblem in the back and the texture of this mold. So I'm really digging that. All right, let's go ahead and put them over here. Maybe that'll work. I think that's cool. Yeah, that'll work. Absolutely. Look at all these action figures. So great. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we can just move this a little further out after all. So it's not completely cluttered everywhere. Look at that. Cool. Let's spin them just out just a little bit more. Very cool. All right, and then J. Jonah Jameson is still upset. All right, cool. Looks like we're gonna move on to our last action figure. And as I mentioned before, do you remember who it is? Wow, this looks so cool. All right, here we go. Dun 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 dun! It's Lizard with a slashing tail smash attack. Look how cool this lizard actually looks. It's got like web handcuffs that he comes with, I guess. But it looks really cool. Again, this packaging is awesome. This is not from Spider-Man 3, obviously, you know. It has that symbol instead of the 3. And take a look at the back. This is how much we found them for. And yeah, slashing tail smash attack. Super detailed figure with slashing tail smash, and includes web cuffs and web muzzle. We can put on his face. Ooh, look, Craven, I forgot about that. So we have this one and these two. Still several figures we can get because they made many for this line, but let's see what it says about Lizard. So it says, Lizard, the terrible lizard, has returned to stalk the streets and sewers of New York City. As deadly as a repugnant reptile's claws, teeth, and tail are, he is rendered even more dangerous to Spider-Man by who he is, the alternate identity of the wall crawler's good friend, Dr. Kurt Connors. Unable to master his change into the sibilant okay, I'm sorry, sibilant supervillain, which just means he's like hissing. He goes on a rampage whenever his emotions get the best of him. It's up to Spider-Man to figure out how to stop the lizard without harming his friend. Yep, let's get him open. This is super cool. And he looks great. That's why I jumped at getting him too. So, and he's sibilant. Why I kept stuttering on that part? Don't know, but it's not a word you see too often, so it's probably why. There we go. Oof. Why did that go so crazy? I guess because you know the secret now. It's not super sharp. There we are. Okay. So we'll pull this right here. Once we pull this right here, let's start this off. There we go. And man, this opened a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. There we are. Be careful because that almost cut me right here. The plastic almost did. There we are. And here we go. Perfect. Looks like it may have slightly after all. Very lightly, right? Okay. So let's bust him on out. Let's get his little web muzzle, web cuffs. Connors. Very cool. And let's get closer and take a look. Wow, super cool. Does the head turn though? Doesn't look like it. But the jaw does open and close. So look how wicked that looks. Wow, super cool. Too bad the head doesn't turn. So we have this coat right here. Look at that lab coat all torn up. Softer plastic. Let's see. The shoulders do turn well. Look at that. And then go out pretty well. Oh, and come all the way down and in. So that's awesome. It's a single joint at the elbow. So that's something to keep in mind. Is it backwards? What's going on here? I'll make sure that it is or it isn't. Let's see. The wrist turns, so that's an improvement on the other ones. Turns at the waist. That's an improvement. And then we do have awesome. We have better joints for the hips than we've had on all the other ones. We do have a single joint at the knee though, and nothing for the ankle. So, and too bad it doesn't turn right here either. That's still gonna make it difficult. Now let's see the tail. Oh, look at that! Very cool. Look at this. It's gonna be smacking stuff. So that looks awesome. So, boom. So let's see if we can get him to stand. And let's see what sort of awesomeness we got here. So I guess this has to turn because if we're gonna put the cuffs on him, look at that. And this muzzle, I guess look, it goes on the top and the bottom parts. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Especially if we're gonna do stop motion or set up a scene. That'll look cool. And then what can we do here? There we are. Hey, why is it not staying? Isn't this supposed to? Give me a second, guys. Let me get this set up. Okay, there we go. That looks awesome. And then the pictures show the tail as if it could come down to the right side, but no, it keeps flicking back every time I do it, so it doesn't look like there's any way to hold it down either. So we'll have that there. And let's move it over here. Let's set this up even further forward. And we'll have our lizard right here. Look at that. Ooh, no, it's not staying. I'm like, really, lizard? Perfect. So we're gonna have this and the lizard here. I don't want anybody being blocked, but we're gonna have them forward now. Okay, so let's see if I can condense this just a little bit, and then just so you get an idea, I did bring Iron Spider along so you can see the size difference. Look how it's like no comparison. It's bigger by a mile. So, all right, cool. Let me see if I can condense this just a bit, but before I do that, let's take a moment to see just how great these action figures are. Look at that. Okay, give me a second, guys. All right, here we go. And everybody looks just so amazing. I only moved just a slight little bit so we could get a better shot of everybody in here. And it looks absolutely amazing. Look at all these action figures, and the Spiderman over here, the symbiote jumping on him. Lizard back there, and then of course this great shot right here. So guys, let me know in the comments if you haven't already what you think about this. Give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can get more great videos like this. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in another video soon, guys. So really want to thank you for hanging out with us here today, and we'll be seeing you soon. Check out our YouTube page often because we're gonna have more and more great videos. So until next time, guys, thanks again for watching Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. Peace.